What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Boozer here. Thanks for stopping by. Today's the day where we are going to be hopping into the event dungeon, and we'll be spending a lot of energy today in the event dungeon to try to clear the hothead deck of fate. The reason why today is the best day to do that is because we can get some multi-dipping happening. So we can dip into the training event. We can get obviously points for the hothead deck of fate. We can then also get points for the Shredder Wrath tournament. Now, the Shredder Wrath tournament is the best in terms of the dungeon for this hothead deck of fate because we get a disproportionate amount of points for doing level 3 of the event dungeon. In terms of the other dungeons, relatively speaking, in terms of getting hothead points. So for stage 3, all you're going to be doing is putting any kind of really strong, your strongest damage dealer with 4 food. So this way we can get points by, clearing the dungeon. We get points by training as well. And we get points towards the hothead deck of fate. Now, there is an issue here that could potentially happen if you leave this running for a long time. So for example, if I just leave the multi-battles running, let's see what happens here. So I'm going to leave the multi-battles running. I'm just going to assume, like, let's say you go to work and all that stuff, right? So look at this fight. 1 second, guys. 1 second fight. And I'm just running the multi-battles. Now, this is going to run over and over and over again. This is going to be relatively quick, depending how much battles you need to do. But there is something that you need to be really, really careful of. And basically, is that Plarium's Watchdog, I guess, application in the background will detect that this run is going too fast, and Plarium might flag your account and then suspend your account or ban your account, because this is very similar to using some kind of hacking or speed hacking programs that speed up your gameplay. And then Plarium obviously doesn't want this to happen in the game, so they might flag or ban your account. So the last thing you want is having a exclusive champion in a time-sensitive event and then being banned, because you don't know when you're going to get unbanned or if you will get unbanned at all. I don't think it's going to be that bad. I think you'll get unbanned because this is all explainable. But it's a big wrench in your plans. So you don't want to waste potentially a day or two just doing this stuff, because we only have 2 days left for the hothead deck of fate. So we only have 2 days left. If I got banned for doing stage 3 too quickly, I would be really upset, because I'm like, hey, I'm wasting my time being banned, and I can't complete this Raphael deck of fate. I'll show you guys exactly what I'm talking about. So here on Reddit, be careful if you're spamming level 3 of the event dungeon for Raphael deck points. You might get banned. And that's totally true, because like I said, Plarium flags accounts that are basically running the dungeons too quickly and over and over and over again. So good news for this person here is that they did get unbanned, and they clarify by saying they weren't using any kind of third-party program, just manually clicking replay or pressing R on the keyboard while watching a movie. And then we have some comments here basically suggesting that some people also got banned, and they were not using RSL Helper, just the multi-battle. So it's actually kind of interesting, and I totally get it. I hear this stuff before with running dungeons too quickly, that this could actually happen to you guys. So in the event that you do get banned or suspended, you must submit a ticket right away, and hopefully you guys can get some kind of resolution quickly. The problem with Plarium is that they don't have a 24-hour support system. Basically, they have somebody working, during office hours, UTC office hours, and then someone will respond to you during UTC time. So just gotta make sure that you guys don't catch them at the end of the day, and then you guys have to wait and all that stuff. Anyways, how can we prevent this from happening? So I thought of a couple ways of how to prevent this from happening. So basically, you go to the event dungeon. What you could do is go to stage 3. The reason why we're going to stage 3, if you guys missed it in my most previous video about how to get Raphael efficiently and cheaply, is because stage 3 gives you, like I said, disproportionate amount of points for completing the stage per energy. It gives you almost 50% better energy efficiency than doing hard 10. So if you're doing hard 10 for some gear, keep in mind that that gear is costing you 50% more energy. So if you're spending, for example, if you're spending 30,000 energy in stage 3 to finish off your deck of fate, the same amount of points you can get from hard 10 for 45,000 energy or thereabouts. It's about 50% more efficient. So I'm just saying that that gear and stuff is going to cost you that much amount of energy. As long as you know, then that's totally fine. Depends what you want to do, depends on your account and all that, but you're definitely paying for it. So anyways, guys, let's see. So basically going into this fight here, what I would do is I would change this to 1. That's what I would do, just to slow down the run a little bit. So this would usually take 1 second. So by going 1 time speed, it slows it down. And then it'll take 2 seconds. Hopefully this is enough just to slow things down a little bit. You can kind of see here. And yeah, you can kind of see the disproportionate amount of points. You're getting 10 points per, 8 energy or whatever. But that's one way to kind of slow down the game. The other way is to go into RSL Helper here and do some settings yourself. So here, I'll go into the settings, options here. And then I would play around a little bit with the settings here. For example, waiting time after the fight. Maybe I would increase this by a couple seconds. So we're in RSL Helper, which is a PC only program that kind of auto runs your battles for you without using multi-battles, for example. Yeah, I would play around a little bit with these settings. Like, for example, you could just double these millisecond timings just to slow down the game a little bit. The other important selling option that you could probably change is probably this: time between item click and start sell. So maybe just double the timings of all of these. And then it'll probably just slow down the game a little bit. Now, I don't know exactly what Plarium is looking for when they, issue these bans and suspensions, but it's something to do with basically running the game too quickly. I don't know if it's the timing between the starting of the next run or if it's just strictly in-game speed and time during the run. I'm not 100% sure. I'm just listing some suggestions to protect yourself from potentially getting banned. I'm not sure if these are going to be super effective. All right, guys, so hopefully you guys don't run into this issue where you guys get banned and suspended and it just costs you guys time and obviously lots and lots of stress. The last thing I want to mention about this Hothead Deck of Fate is that you could actually buy these pizza slices in the shop for gems. Now, it's usually not the best place to spend, resources to instantly buy these points in most of these events, mainly because the conversion rate is so bad. So I'll show you guys exactly how bad the conversion rate is for these pizza points relative to the energy you can just spend in, the event dungeon, which is super easy, right? So here, well, let's use the large pizza pack since that is the best value. You're gonna be getting 3,000 pizza points for 1,100 gems. So 1,100 gems divided by 40, so that's how many pots you have. Divided by total pot, so you got 3,575 points of energy. And then if you want to use it all into stage 3, this is the conversion rate for stage 3. The amount of points you get on average per energy that you get used in stage 3 of the event dungeon. Event dungeon only, guys. Event dungeon only, stage 3 is 1.24 points per energy. So you're getting 4,400 points by doing stage 3 with this 1,100 gems. Obviously 4,400 is a lot more than 3,000. So you're getting way more points by using these gems into, stage 3 of the event dungeon. Now, how long is it going to take? Is this instant gratification of spending 1,100 gems for 3,000 points worth the wait? I'll tell you guys exactly how long 4,400 energy it takes to burn down. And you're going to need to do 277 super battles to basically burn down 4,400 energy. Let's say it takes you, 5 seconds. Let's say it takes you 5 seconds, okay? So that's going to take you, just under 1,400 seconds. If we divide that by minutes, that's going to take you about 23 minutes. Now, this is running runs that are 5 seconds long. Obviously, we have to equate for, some of the downtime and stuff between the fights. So it's going to take you, less than half an hour to run through all of this energy. So is that half an hour worth giving up all that silver, all that experience, and losing almost half of your point efficiency? I don't know. It really depends, right? How valuable your 30 minutes are, how desperate you are to get those points. But anyway, just an option for some of you guys. I definitely don't recommend it. I just recommend running through the event dungeon. But anyways, that's going to be it for this video here. I just wanted to warn you guys a little bit about the ban potential, just by running your dungeons too quickly. For me, I think what I'm going to do is just slow down my game so that I run it at 1x speed. And then I think that should be okay. I think even at 2 seconds, it probably will be fine. You can kind of see here. 2 seconds. So instead of 1 second, it's going to be 2 seconds. And I think we'll be okay. And from what I gathered, this doesn't happen to everybody. Oh, and I forget. There's also possibly a way to do this if you lower your frame rate. So if you lower your frame rate to perhaps like 30, let's slow it real down here. This might also be a way to kind of slow down, your game so it doesn't trigger any kind of craziness that might get you in trouble and potentially cause you some stress and all that stuff. So we got 1x speed, we got 30 frames per second, still about 2 seconds. So I was just thinking maybe we play around with that, but I don't think it's a bad thing to, basically just mess around with that a little bit, just slow down your run times. But anyways, that's going to be the end for the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully this was helpful. Like I said, this is a little bit of a precautionary video here just to help you guys out. And obviously, if you guys do get banned or suspended, don't freak out. You guys just contact Playroom support right away. You do have, a little bit of buffer time, 2 days notice and all that stuff, but you want to get them during UTC office hours so that they can actually act right away. And yeah, explain your situation and all that stuff. Make sure you guys got all your ducks in a row before contacting them and all that. So anyways, guys, hopefully that helps. Best of luck on the rest of the Hothead deck of fate and all that. Let me know how it's going for you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching until the end. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next video.